Pleasant good evening to each and every one of you in Georgetown, Guyana, and the diaspora and whatever elsewhere. Friends all. Before I start, I'm kindly asking all of you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell. So when I do a video, you will get it immediately. You also have a right to your comment. But if you are going to be a fool to use words you cannot back up and insult, I want you to take a good look through the mirror, because I am not a person for you to mix with, especially when coming from the two major races. One who still will not accept where they were born, but still claiming emancipation, but had a chance to a country that was not their own and F up big time by using race to destroy other nations in that same country. Okay? And for you, the East Indian descendant, who also don't want to accept your birthrights, but claiming the day of arrival, then I will say to you and my African counterparts, family and friends alike on both sides, if y'all don't accept where you were born, then a plane flight is easy. And if y'all continue like this, let me give you a little history. History has proven that Mugabe drove the white race out of his country, former Rhodesia, with Smith and his old people take away everything. And the world did not say nothing, because the word was white man go home. All African nation was with him, and the Caribbean, where there was a black, uneducated and uncivilized people, support his call. Not realizing that the world is not based upon them or anything else, and therefore, it is plain and simple that you have to understand what you are saying. It is not the European fault to go to Africa and capture you. They did not capture you. I went all over Africa looking. I went to the Almenia Castle in Ghana and a couple others along the coast of the ocean. And yes, slavery was a business. Bank was banking the expense. And every one of the Africans that came out was sold by the tribal people who captured the family. And before they kill you or enslave you, rape you, and give you 10, 12 children, they decide to take whatever it is, and the European, as you call white man, brought you out. Your first stop in some area was Fiji Island, and also Hawaii and other places, because the ship had to stop to refuel with food and things, That's where you bring a lot of the breadfruit from. Anyhow, to make matters easy, they brought you, they couldn't speak your language. Of course, you have never seen a white man yet, so you feel Brony going to eat you. They are alien. They feel the same about you. So they chain you, bring you, and put you in the field. The first thing they do, of course, a lot of you retaliate, fight back, you kill a few, they kill back. The ocean floor got a lot of dead African skeleton onto now. But it was done with not a bad way of life, but on a business way. Let's say it was cruel. It was not right. But what Almighty God have created and put, He could have given us a flying plane them time and give us language to understand one another. But maybe this is the way it had to be. Then you became here, you was planting cotton in America, you was in Brazil, Guyana, the Caribbean, and other area. They gave you a church to learn about the God. And on to this day, you all hold that on so tight. They give you a school to teach you their language. They got you in the garden, the house, when you speak their language, and the young children born and get to humiliate themselves out of that frustration and come to reality and realize you started to dress properly, wear clothes like the white man. The clothes even fit you better than him, the suit. And you speak the language. You are some of the greatest singers and dancers, actors and actresses. I keep repeating it. Scientists, teachers, pilots. And yes, it is crucial passing. But did you know what the European went through? under the Moors. Think of it. And under your great-great-grandparents, the Caesar, 60 to 70% of their army and advisors were black people. And they also had black in them. Think, the Arabian, who you think they are? And I always bring in this one. All historians tell me Abraham was a black man, Jesus was black, Moses was black, Muhammad was black. Friend, I got black blood in me. I would shame if I was pure black to hear that, because if we were so destructive to God's prophet, I now see why he sent a lighter-skinned person to bring us out and to make life so we could understand God. These things had a price, but how did we reward it? With the sufferment of our great-grandparents from Africa's shore. Did we repay it? No. We screw our sisters and leave them with children and call them child mother, child father. Is that fair? Huh? We turn them around, we do all kind of things with them. Is that fair to them? And we were supposed to be more civilized than our African ancestors who sold them. My friend, it's plain and simple. We must not blame the African countries and the younger generation for the past, for these things had to be. Because European was scattered all over the world. Many were slaves in France and England, Italy, you name it. They fought back. And to make a long matter short, when the Indian came into the hemisphere, Alexander the Great forced bring them out of India. But when they spread out spice and silk, the European hired a lot of them from the Maharajas, the kings and queens of India. Because India at the time, every area had a king and a queen. They sold you for a price. Where coolie Indian came and make half a bit, 2 bit, farthing, bit and a half, shilling, and pounds. They bring you all as cheap labor. And when you arrive on the shore of the Americas and the West Indies, slavery was about to begin abolishing. Now, I want you to look at this ship. It was a ship like this your ancestor came from. You should count the ocean and this ship that brought y'all out. How would y'all like to go back 200 years back into Africa? Think of it. It was not Columbus bring you. There were many others. And most European, from Portugal to Spain and others, was pirate. Even the Queen Grandmother, knight a thief and call him Sir Walter. Well, when a thief can be knighted, I don't see why I blame your politician in Guyana. And it was one like this brought you Indian out of India, Calcutta, Bombay, Gujarat, and other area. But one thing I must admire you Indian, y'all never talk about that or race. But because the black man of the Caribbean and Guyana get Emancipation Day, you Indian demand the day of arrival. Friend, you were hire workers, you had the right to go back. Burn them, take your money and build the culture center. So let me give it to you all as it is. Some people call me, and this is my number, you could call me, but make sure you have fax card recording. 347-340-2628. If you don't get me on that any evening, get me on 646-427-7245. I would like to have a dialogue with the professors. A lot of you are misled and corrupt. And a lot of you are power drunk on both sides of the fence. And you, Indian, you are very ungrateful, but you do not practice racism. You kill your own. You insult them. You humiliate them. You beat your mother and your father. You try to poison them. You try to go to the voodoo man to hurt them. You will do anything to accomplish money and gold because you all love money. You love gold. It's a tradition of Indian race. But mother-in-law don't like daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law don't like in-laws. What nonsense is this? So you all got your disease with you. Okay? Like I would say, the black race is ignorant to the truth. But you Indians are stupid because you don't mean to open up your eyes and let's work together. You all are presumptuous, covetous, vindictive, spiteful. You all are so damn corrupt. A snake have to run away from you. I remember as a little boy, 6 or 7 years of age, growing up in Baggestown, my black neighbor, Mr. James, was telling his son. He said, Henry, tell me a thing, boy. Me see around with them coolie by every day. Coolie is Indian anyway, you know, Creole talk. But if you have a right to kill one snake, and you coolie friend around and he got attack both of you, but you either kill the snake, what you gonna do? And the coolie by there. The boy laugh. He said, Daddy, what stupidness you tell me, Daddy? Me got to kill the snake. He said, no, son. That snake may not go away. You coming his way. But that could walk with you everywhere. He going to destroy you. I look at this thing and couldn't understand the meaning, but I grew up to see it. My mother bring an Indian bitch in our family, and she divide the family. But I blame my brother. I should have let his ship go down with them. Then another one named Bechu. I helped him buy him a car to make a living. Make my brother marry his daughter. He tell me I am not father-in-law. I wish him that he will flatter like fowl before he dead. 1 week and a couple days, he did flatter and die in that 3 bag of tongue. Won't find out. I'm very dangerous with the tongue. My God, don't let me down. Because he was ungrateful to the core. Okay? So let me tell y'all. My mother insulted an Amerindian woman. And I warning my mother steady because the woman is in my house with her family. The woman said, "Jar, don't worry with her, she's old. But if you're old, you must have understanding. Don't insult nobody in my house. I don't care, even if you're God and you was in my house, insult somebody, you and I would have got a problem. And you are my mother. You teach me to help, to do good, and when I'm doing it, you're accusing the woman, and you so blasted already for the graveyard, and insulting an older woman than you, but she wants your man. You don't even have no soil to grow pigeon peas, much less paddy. And you talking. I warned my mother over and over, and she refused to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, I swear to God, if I have to do it back again, I do it. I throw a cup of hot tea in her face. It stopped immediately. That means she know what she was doing. And the same woman was at her side, helping her until she died. Think of it. So Kuli people, y'all are ungrateful. Now let me make this clear, because a lot of you just take it personal. In every race got good and bad. You got good Indian, good Chinese, good black people, good European. So when you say black man, white man, Coolie man, Chinese man, what are you discriminating against? You read your Bible? God says, I make man into my own image and likeness. You're only discriminating against color and nationality. You're not discriminating against man. Ladies and gentlemen, I get so many calls. Karaya, why you back Alifa? Are your family? They tell you how it come. I said no. Amongst all the leaders in Guyana, from Burnham to Jagan to Mrs. Jagan to Ramatar, even to Bharat, but I will give and take, because you were very young, unexperienced. So you don't put a little boy to do a big man job, but he learned. We all make mistakes, but the price was too much. Too many dead people. Too many corruption. Yes, he was corrupt. And you can't hide it. His whole cabinet, you could see it. But he changed. He learned. They say, look at the man house where he got. You know how much money that man is a thief, Karaya? I said, brother, can you remember Fast Burnham in 1978, 79, and in the 80s? Before the late Walter Rodney arrived to start with WPA, the Ebony magazine released the second richest black man in the world, and it was the honorable, miserable Lyndon Sampson Forbes Burnham. Where you black people are, you're only measuring the tape at a time when he closed down the bauxite company, Reynolds and Mackenzie. When he destroyed the 3-county train station, take the minibus, and he start his nationalization and privation. Where you black people, y'all ain't got brain, you ain't got memory? Tell me, how a country, you are the second populated, 200-something thousand Indian is more than you, and 90-something% of the citizens at that time was all black. Is that fair? That was not even Rhodesia, Angola, Mozambique. It was not even South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Botswana. I am telling you, I challenge any one of your prime minister and those so-called ministers you got. Let's go to the geography and the historical event. Look at me. But I want to tell you, a crime is a crime. If Mr. Barrett is being accused like the others, as are you calling me and said the thief, why did Mr. Imran Ali was not jailed with 19 counts? Unless y'all make mistake with 19 accounts. I don't know, I'm asking question. Why Barrett was not in jail since I used to say thief when he built a house? But he built a house by the garden. Was he competing with the animal them? The monkeys and the gorillas and the iguanas and the snake and the crocodile and the parrots? Come on, man. Y'all got to stop this bullshit. Your family and yourself and the future for your generation is what you should worry about. But you know, no crime goes unpaid. What goes around comes around. Now we talk about emancipation and we speak about their arrival. But yet we say white man exploit African, enslave them like India. All right, but Indians don't talk. We talk India independent, ruled by Indians. Only Sonia Gandhi get through after her husband's death. And the Congress party try hard to get rid of she, the Italian woman, right? And Rajiv Gandhi was blown to pieces by a Hindu woman who put a mala around his neck. And Natu Ram killed Mahatma Gandhi and Miss Gandhi Indira. After returning from Jamaica in the conference in the 70s, she was shot by her own bodyguard. So, learn, when Burnham, the son of Guyana, entered the shore after deporting from Jamaica and rise up with the WPA, Working People Alliance, People's Power, no dictator, first time Indian and black people were so close after so many years, friends. It was a threat to the PPP, Dr. Jagan. He was invited to form an organization called PCD, People's Coalition for Democracy. And when Guyana and others tell him, Yad Rupert Rupnarayan, Owali, Andaya, Bonita Harris, Walter Rodney, great scholar, very educated people, young people. When they talk, Jagan say, you want to be the leader? They said no. He said he didn't join politics to take back seat. But he could have walked out of parliament for many months when he upturned the seat and pretend that he walked out to give Burnham the rights to nationalize and make laws because they both benefit from it. Ask Nagamutu before he dead. Ask Nagamutu. These men, they have videotapes, I'm getting them, when they were speaking against the PNC in Berbice and other places, even Ramjatan. But Mr. Ramjatan, I do hope you get that paper to show the world that my son pled guilty to a charge when they pick him up from the registrar and lock him up when he was on bail for that case. When Indian people send horsemen as Ramdat to create a problem with a black guy, when Mr. Snow tried to give you a cigarette, a cup of coffee. Where are the footage? But may God destroy those policemen generation. And all who was involved in it, may they eat the shit that cometh from their ass and run mad. And for that, judge, you need to step down, our magistrate. And we have the paper to show my son was on bail. We never commit a crime. Okay? But if we don't get justice, we shall and will get it from the higher God, the real judge. All who involved in it, y'all should run mad. But To make a long story short, the killing of Vincentica, Radney, Omawali, Dublin, because there was a threat to Jagan and Burnham. Karen D'Souza was beaten, all kind of thing. Come on, change the constitution, Ali. Change it. No man must be above the law. You are not God. But you talk about one Guyana. Let's be a national front. You're doing good, but you spread out so they can't see what you're doing. Okay? And you must make your law strong. Any judge get caught taking side to lock up a man or a woman because they speak out against a politician or someone must be off the bench and try. And if convicted, I don't believe in jail. You get rid of AIDS. You get rid of TB. You get rid of many diseases and cancer. Why keep such a disease around? Answer me. And turn the prison, Mr. Ali, into a workforce. They can make chairs and tables. They could make concrete bricks. There could be something in the prison that can mind their family while they are there. And out of what they make, they must have a salary to take care of their family. And if they behave good, you send them home early. And if they commit the crime again, well, then you put them on an island. Case closed, man. Come on, you didn't make life, you don't have a right to take it. But for those who kill innocent people, you must go through it back. Or you can live. But if you kill a man wrongfully and you have sons, one have to die in that man's place. And depends on how many children he got to and what they can call for. Okay? I believe in the laws of Rome. I believe in the Saudi's laws. I believe in the day of Prophet Muhammad fighting for what is right. But I know no spider will put a web to save Korea. My web is God Almighty and the United States of America get what they want. Hope you all understand that teaching. And for Mr. Ali at Bagastong Lot 3, I'm calling on Ali, get the NDC to look into our matter and the court. They put the wall on my land. We all can then leave it, but Principal Ali and the man up in Canaan, Mr. Mohan Lal, pushing water into our property in Canaan, flooding us up, according to information it's alleged. If so be the case, I call upon the NDC, look into it, and he must move it immediately. He have blocked a egress and egress road. Come on, Ali. Guyana is not India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh. And it's not Africa. So let's unite and put Guyana forward. You will have our support, and you are doing good. And for the young black woman that walk away from APNU and join your party, congratulations. No man is an island, and no woman is a rock. You have a right to your decision, because you have to live. Okay? When they raised the salary for all them ministers, did they raise it for the civil servant? Tell me. But there is a God. Come on, Aubrey. Come on. Do you think the British or the American in World War II would take one of the Nazis to advise them how to get to Adolf Hitler? No way. But you got people who were trained to hate you in your party and locking up people wrongfully in your watch, and you do nothing about it. David Granger get my letter and wrote me back. I got it. He said he hand my case to the security minister. I said, God, if he have hands in what's happening, give him a heart attack or a sickness, he get cancer. You hear, I didn't want he die, I want he live to see. Mr. Nagamutu got his letter too. I wrote to him, he write me and say, he's second in command. I live to say, God, if he's second in command, then who's the devil? Give him a sickness. Next thing I hear, he get a heart attack. I hear he was in Ohio. His daughter was at the bedside. But let me tell you all something. You all might kill me or kill people for me. All we got family, you know. You could take it how you like it, Ramjatan. We all have to die one day. We don't thief, we don't sell drugs, we don't get in corruption. We believe in humanity, we don't believe in servant. Okay, if you got a wife and she can't cook, you can't get a young woman for cook and you admire her and she know more than your wife. Spread in your bed and your intention is between your legs. Like some ministers I know who mess with the secretary I have a mind to call name, but I'm letting it slide for now. Okay? So, Mr. Ali, in due respect to you, as the President of the Cooperative Republic, I congratulate you. But you have a lot of square peg in wrong hole, brother. Clean it up, give them a lie detector test, and you will see if they really love you. Where were them? Come on, man, who tell you who was with you? Come on, Max Mohammed, I know you're with Exxon. Tell them who was with you. Come on, Bandu, why are you hiding with the cow? Tell them who was with you. Come on, members of WPA. Tell them who was with you trying to remove Burnham. So Indian, Portuguese, Chinese, Amerindian in their own country, and the mixed race and decent black people must live good. There's a lot of decent black people amongst all of you, but you're scared to talk. Imagine Mr. Philip, your Prime Minister or Vice President, came to Brooklyn, and a man of God denied him to enter the church, to enter the house of God. Well, I want to know if he was Black Jesus, because Mr. Philip must have break the law. But I didn't see he touched the man and beat him and called him a hypocrite. Because Jesus did that in the synagogue. That was his death sentence. When he called them hypocrites and said, the house of my father is not for hypocrites and business. The Prime Minister of the country of your own race, or Vice President, came to greet his people, and you, the priest, turned him away. It's alleged I wasn't there, And then in Brooklyn again, I went to the meeting, I got the recording with hidden video, plus pictures. A lot of them were sitting as chairman and others to divide Mackenzie from Guyana. But for you, the decent black people, may God be with your family and may they live long to enjoy this country called Guyana and the world at large. And for those who dead and gone, the older folks that was free as emancipated, may God rest your dead in peace. And if y'all remember, a coolie man, an Indian man, by the spot where the people buried ground wet. People say a lot of black people, they buried them with slaves. It was flood. It was flood out. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it was a willful act. I'm not blaming nobody. It was an act of God. It was a willful act to flood it out. I was made to understand it's alleged some of the tomb break loose. And the coffin was floating, going to the Atlantic. My God, if there were slaves and the skeleton no more than you, well, I wonder what is y'all. So I ask y'all here today, stop this racial bullshit and unite. If Mr. Ali is doing good, support the man call, and let's unite and make Guyana the stepping stone to heaven. So Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, and God can be welcomed into the paradise. Not Saudi Arabia, the land of Muhammad, where you have no rights when your baby born there, and you're a foreigner, and you're raping and beating African and other race. And not Israel, the Holy Land, what bulldozing the Palestinian, where Jesus was running for his life and was sentenced to death. And not the Ganges River, with the water so stink and full of pollution that every Guyanese who when they come back with zombie. Take it from me. Now, you Indians and blacks, why the two of you, ignorant and foolish enough, not the educated one by the way, because y'all want nothing to do with them. Y'all call them shit. Y'all call them no good, outcasts. And I was mad about it, but now I get to understand. I owe you decent black people, an Indian who used to say that, an apology. But we could use better word. Let's educate them. Let's show them a way of life. Let's bring them to the 21st century. For our ancestors of India and Africa, we must forgive them because many of you today are rich, billionaire, millionaire, pilots, doctors, scientists, great musicians and singers. But you Indians singing and dancing the Hindu music, the Indian music, I have nothing against it, But you cannot even write it and understand it. Guyana is an English-speaking country. The Chinese didn't come with ting, mang, ting, lang, pang. The Portuguese didn't come with hiun. And the mixed race will be mixed. We have no choice. We got to take what comes to us, right? But I want to tell all of you lawmakers, prosecutor, police, magistrate, judge, the DPP, and all of you, In the right government, all of you shall and will take a lie detector test. And we will pay money for those who know your secret. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you go for tonight. But let's unite, support Ali cause, but we still want a national fund government where the six race will be inclusive in government. Have a good day, and I am your host, George Correa. Thank you, and good luck.